right. So this week we wrote on quite a few things. One of them was actually in reaction to an article on another site. Someone had written an inbound versus outbound marketing primer, and verses. Whenever I see verses in marketing, I want to strangle someone. I really get upset.
You can use a good verse in marketing.
Verses.
Oh, sorry.
So this one, inbound versus outbound marketing. Yep. And the reason why I get upset at that is because it's not one or the other. There's all kinds of overlap. Let's say you have an incredible inbound marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. Well, you should be doing some outbound on the end of that. If you have a proper inbound strategy, you're collecting leads and you're watching behaviors of people visiting your site, and ultimately you're probably creating some kind of lead list that people are interested in. And so an outbound call to somebody who attended a webinar or saw a demo or whatever is well worth your time. So you wouldn't just sit there and say, well, nobody paid me, so I'm not going to make a call.
Right.
And then the opposite is true too. That if you're doing, if you're doing outbound calling all the time, and we talked about this on the last segment, is that the first thing that someone's going to do on a cold call, let's say to a company, is the first thing that they're going to do is go Google you. They're going to go online. They're going to search.
Absolutely.
They're going to find your company. They're going to find you on Facebook, Twitter. They're going to see what kind of people you have, what kind of expertise you have, what kind of clients you have.
If you like strawberries or not.
Whether you like strawberries, yep. And so that's why it's so critical now to have this, inbound marketing strategy. Even if you have an outbound team, you should have white papers and case studies and blog posts out there to inform people. If they don't feel that you're an expert and they're searching for, a specific problem, guess what? They're going to find that expertise on your competitor site. And when they find it on your competitor site, now all of a sudden you're at a, you're not going to get the deal. Especially if your competitors have their clients listed and use cases and case studies and speaking gigs and everything else. So, I would say even this, right? What we do with Edge of the Web Radio is we try to bring some light and, we try to make it a little bit funny. And we try to bring some information to people.
You're trying.
Trying.
Yeah, exactly.
I said try. Yeah. I said we're
that
trying.
side of the table.
Yeah. Well, I'm successful at being funny, but I don't know about the marketing stuff.
Yeah. I think it's debatable in its own right.
Yeah. So, but anyways, what we're trying to do here is obviously it's not, we want to educate people and everything else, but ultimately we want people to start going, man, we got to call these guys, right? They know what they're doing. They've researched this. They found out all the information. And if people are listening to our podcast and the competitors don't have a podcast, well, who are they going to call? Ah, see, she did it.
I got a whole problem with this whole new all-girl Ghostbusters, by the way.
So I just wrote an article and just kind of rebounded, and I actually talked to the author at the other company, who wanted a backlink. Yeah, an irrelevant backlink even. Yeah, it wasn't even relevant to the article, but I talked to him, and I said, look, I'm gonna crush it. And that's what I did. I just wrote and I just said, God, this is not versus. Stop saying that. Stop saying email versus social or social versus PR or it's not versus. This all works together. If you write a piece of content and you're able to promote it with PR and paid marketing and social marketing and everything else, you're getting more bang for your buck. You're getting greater reach for that investment that you put in a piece of content. So
I know, it's irritating. It just shows you a siloed mentality.
Sure. Well, it is. I think a lot of people look at that. If you're an email marketing expert, what do you tout all day? Yeah. And I'm going to share some stats along that right now. But you're going to tout email is great. Email is great. Email is great. Well, no doubt, email is absolutely amazing. It's a top acquisition and retention tool for clients. But that doesn't mean that you substitute email for everything else,
right.
So the next one that I wanted to talk about was There was actually a study by Emarsis on commerce capabilities, and they talked about acquisition and retention, the activities that were producing the most business for small and medium-sized businesses. So for small and medium-sized businesses, the number one acquisition activity, do you know what it was? I'll give you a hint. I just said it.
Email.
Yay!
I was listening.
Thanks for playing.
I was thinking about peanut butter. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Peanut butter pie.
So I was thinking versus strawberry shortcake versus peanut butter. So that's a real versus.
That's an infographic there.
I love strawberry, but as I was sitting there, I was thinking if there was peanut butter pie or strawberry shortcake, if I had to make a versus, that's a tough call.
That's a real versus.
Why can't we just put the strawberries with?
Ew,
That's gross.
That's gross.
Cross the stream.
No,
Don't cross the street.
no.
We don't cross streams here.
Bananas maybe.
Yeah,
bananas and peanut butter. Anyways, so the number one for both acquisition and retention was email marketing.
Yep.
Now here's the interesting thing, right? Email requires an email address. How can that be the number one acquisition, item? Well, it's the number one acquisition item because it's everything else that you're doing leads to you getting that email address, and then the email address leads to a close.
Right.
So the second one on the list is like organic search, and this is I always tell our clients, like, organic search without email you're missing because a lot of those people drop off, never come back to your site or anything. But if they can sign up for a newsletter and you're touching them periodically, eventually you're going to close them because they showed interest.
Absolutely.
So organic search was number 2 for acquisition. For retention, it was a little bit more down the list. Paid search was number 3 for acquisition. Then social media. So this is direct.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, social media next. And I think again, the problem with social media isn't that it doesn't work. The problem with social media is basically giving credit to social media.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, there's not nearly as much of a linear line of sight.
And Facebook's really trying to change that. I think they're way ahead of everybody, but be custom audiences, and now they're starting to bring conversions into Facebook and everything else. So they are definitely working on that.
Now, I think if I could side table real quick, I think there's also a factor of social media connecting with the sales team.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you'll see
networking,
them isolated where they're not moving a particular goal for sales. They're communicating, engaging, but it's not moving regularly into process or not knowing what the sales team is doing to try to promote something.
Exactly. Yeah. If you actually made a contact online on social media and 6 months later you close them, do you say social media? No, you probably said it was some other thing that closed them.
It's true.
The next one after social media was retargeting, and this is another one that we've been talking to our clients about. Is it's so hard to see who's on your site, but the fact is, if someone did visit your site, being able to market to them over and over and over is fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I was joking that the only thing bad about retargeting is, you go to Amazon and buy like a baby gift for your nephew, which I did. And so then you see baby gifts on every site for the next 3 months, and it's like, I don't want a baby. So next thing was referral marketing. Which honestly in B2B I think is pretty near the top. There's a lot of referrals that happen, but I think they're talking more from a technology standpoint, that you have a referral system in place. Mobile marketing next, marketplaces next, comparison engines next, so reviews and, and everything else. And then last was other, but pretty interesting. So 81% of small and medium-sized businesses still rely on email as a driver for customer acquisition, and 80% for customer retention. 73% of retailers rank email as their top budget item. So they spend a ton on email.
Wow.
Yeah. And no doubt, I'm subscribed to some that literally every day there's a beautiful email coming that was designed from the ground up. I'm just like, oh my God, they must have an incredible staff. Small and medium-sized businesses saw gains. Conversion rates increased by 72%. Average order size increased by 65%. And repeat customer visit purchase increased by 58% over the last year. So this is the move to digital marketing. Small and medium-sized businesses are now finally seeing it and really starting to capitalize. Where big businesses were doing cross-channel marketing before,
right.
Small and medium-sized businesses are doing it now. So the numbers are there for proof of that. And then an interesting fact, I didn't realize this, 70% of small and medium-sized businesses begin holiday planning no later than July. So if you're a retailer, I didn't realize that. No later than July.
Yep.
So we got to put those infographics out on holiday planning earlier.
They're going to start marketing Christmas in literally March. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to go there.
And then for e-commerce, the last stat, half of all small and medium-sized businesses that had e-commerce on their site identified cart abandonment emails as the most successful tactic that they could do, and site recommendations were the second. So get those abandoned cart emails out too. So pretty interesting. I think what's good for us to see is you guys have been cross-channel for a long time now. We've been cross-channel for a long time, and a lot of people thought we were crazy for doing that. Right? They wanted us to specialize and just do one thing.
Right.
And it's showing now that cross-channel is the only
it's the only viable solution.
You're really wasting your money when you just spend all the time and resources in one channel.
That's right. That's right. It's managing a portfolio.
Yeah.
And they all work together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to. It's a compound effect. We've talked about that before of how they all move the needle collectively.
Yep.
All right. Very good.
So check out the Marketing Tech blog at marketingtechblog.com, and of course you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere else. Just look. You'll find me.
Oh, you'll find him at Site Strategics as he tries to take the mayorship away from me as well.
Oh, no, I will take it away.
Yeah, exactly. Take advantage of the vacation. I'm literally going to check in remotely.
Yes.
That's right, you're gone next week. I was like, Aaron's going to drive by every day this weekend just to make sure he doesn't get it.
Yeah,